Hello and welcome. Hi, Miss Donna.
Hi, Simone. How are you today?
I'm great. So, Donna is my partner in crime in a thing that we both admire so much. And like, I listening to the X is Me, I'm like, oh my God, Donna, have you listened to I have started to just send you links like, have you listened to that part? This is just so good. It's just changing everything for me. So,
Yeah, you've been a really unexpected surprise of consciousness. You know how consciousness just like all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. The mantra of access consciousness is like a tug, and then all these amazing, miraculous things and people can show up in your life, and you're one of them. And you will ping me with all kinds of miraculous things that are invitations for me to explore. And I'm just really grateful for that. I actually woke up today. I had some interesting things show up yesterday, and I became really aware of how fun it is to get away with something. Do you know what I mean? Like to have a hack, like a bypass. And so I wanted to talk to you a little bit about like different ways that you bypass, and we can talk about whatever, but I was thinking I'll give you an example in my own life and then maybe we can go from there. So I love to get deals. Like I don't know about you, but I love being like, "Oh, you paid $10 billion dollars for that? I found it for 20 and it's super valuable." So there is a thing here that we have in the States called thrift store. And it's basically like, do you guys have that where you are?
not sure.
Well, it's like or we have garage sales. It's like a state, it's like rubbish. Like you never know what you're going to find if it's going to be a good
Like
a
a flea
store
market?
like a flea market. Yes, I was curious what they call that in your neck of the woods. So we have one here that's close to me where I have found things for like $20 that I go like I'll look them up and I'll be like, "Oh my God, that's like a name artist." And then it ends up being worth $500. Or find this beautiful furniture set for like $15 that's worth, I get it home and it's like a $1,200 set and I love it. I leave there feeling like I'm the most brilliant person who just got away with everything. And people come to my home and they're like, "How do you have so many beautiful things?" And I'm like, "Ha ha ha." You know what I mean? So, are there any examples in your life where you just love to, like, it could be about, thrifting something or flea market something or just someplace else in your life where you really just love getting away with something and getting, a deal or getting something that is just blows your mind.
I, for me, it's like, I don't have that with physical things. I have that like a lot with energetic things where I'm
Tell
like
me it's energy.
blown
That's
away.
cool. Yeah,
I did
tell
a
me.
Facebook Live yesterday with Chandana, and we chatted about that. And then she was speaking about her wow list, and I don't even know what to put on my wow list most of the time, but I started to ask, okay, what would be wow for me? Like, and with that
Yeah.
Facebook Live yesterday, and then I was
Well,
like going for a walk. Yeah.
can I just to help clarify, because I'm going to share this in my world, and some of the people in my world may not know what a wow list is. And a wow list is, do you want to explain it real quick? Like, what is a wow list?
Things that are wow for you. Like, you're like, wow, how did that show up? Like, things that are really make you go, wow. And it
Like
could
if you
be
asked the universe for something and you were like, "Universe, can I have like $1 trillion estate on the beach somewhere beautiful?" And you know that if you got it, you would be like, "Oh my God, I asked for this and this totally blows me away." So the wow list is like coming up with a list of things. And we often hear Dr. Dane here talk about this. So a wow list would be things that if you got them would just absolutely blow your mind. So I didn't mean to interrupt your story, but I just wanted to help people get that schema of what we're talking about. So you were looking at your wow list, you were talking to a friend.
yeah, I was like, we were chatting and like with talking with her, like, yeah, for me, the wow list is, I really asked, like, what is wow for me? Because most of the things that are already existing are not wow for me. Like, meh, it's like nothing that really makes me wow. And then, okay, but I can ask for everything. I also asked, like, recently yeah, I'm going sidetrack now. And then I was listening to the Access Me app and I was going for a walk. And I was just not like with a head. And I was like, wow, wow. I was walking through the streets in Copenhagen and I was like, wow, wow, You should have seen me. That was like a walk of wow, because it blew my mind.
So like you're saying like everything had an energy of expansion and that was the energetics of what you were asking for. That's like that's so cool. That is just, often what we ask for is energetic and I love that. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for people who are watching, I would encourage you right now while you're with us, and thanks for sticking with us this long. It's awesome. I would encourage you to get a sense of a time that something has shown up in your life that has been like, what? Like this is super cool. I remember years ago I was really doing a lot of metaphysical work and like doing those the where you cut out pictures and you put them on a board and it's like, your vision of the future, what you would like to have. And I put this photo, like an image cut out from a magazine of this little like a blue angel. And then I was with a boyfriend at a hot springs. I live in Colorado in the States, and I was up at a hot springs, I don't know, shortly thereafter, I would say within a half a year maybe. And we went, it was a beautiful trip and we went into one of the shops and there on the shelf was the actual little blue angel. And so like people that do metaphysical work and like do manifestation stuff, it's like all of us, regardless of the methods, the means, the modalities that you use, have these experiences where you've asked for something or you have tugged it into your reality. And then you're like, how is this actually showing up? Like I realized it happens all the time. So watching right now, would you take a minute to just get a time that you have been that magical, that you have really asked for something and then in the strangest way it has shown up in your life? Um, and just like celebrate that for a second. Like Simone said, like you can have all these things show up and then most of us just still want more. We're like,
Yeah,
I want more. This is not satisfying anymore. I want more after that. Like, do you want to talk about that a little bit? The
totally. I
desire.
mean, I have created so many magical things with the tools of access consciousness. And like the most outstanding, I would say, was in the beginning where my money was really like low, low, low. I didn't have even 20 euros to buy food. I had a partner and was asking for, hey, can I have, I mean, he always gave it to me, but he was the breadwinner and I just bought total in that point of view. Like breadwinner means I have zero money, he has the money. Whatever. It took me a while to get out there. But like it was, I asked for every food money for him. And that's where I started my journey with the access, yeah. And then I was in the bars class. 6 weeks later, foundation, I actualized the money because I was just, yeah, asking questions and following the energy. But then I went to a body class, even that, like, there was so much magic showing up. And then in that body class, they were announcing a business done different 1 day class. And I was like, oh, I want to go there. But I don't have, like, I had 200 euros in my pocket and I was like 2 weeks on a row because I had another trip to do. And like, I want to go there. And then I asked the facilitator, I would like to join that class, but I don't. I know. I asked the host, like, hey, I would like to do that class, but I don't have the money for it. And she's like, yeah, ask Cass, and there's always a possibility. And then, okay, raised my hand, asked her, hey, I would like to do that, but I don't have the money. Like, just by saying it, like, oh my God, how many people's points of views have I just blurred out? Whatever. And then she's like, yeah, can you do massages? I'm like, yeah, I can do massages, but I'm better at singing. And then, okay, then sing something. And I went and I just stood in a room of 70 people and used my voice, stood there and just sounded. And
Wow.
I mean, the whole room judged me. One were like, whoa, they got goosebumps. They were like, what just happened? And the other half of the room hated me because they also wanted to
Yeah.
go to that class and they didn't ask.
That's the reality is you can only have love or hate. That's it. You can only have those two possibilities, nothing else.
And then like a few people gave me money, and the day after, the host said, "You're joining the class." I'm like, no, it's not enough money yet. Like, yes, you are. Someone just gifted you the class and like would like to
Aw.
be anonymous. But like, wow. Okay. That was just like, as you said, that ask and receive and be willing to be and do what it takes. I mean, I
Yeah.
was willing to be judged from the whole room. And
Yeah. That's cool.
yeah, and then like years later, Cass Thomas said like, I still think about you and the magic you created there. And I couldn't even relate to that as magic. I was just grateful and surprised, but I did not see that that is actually magic,
Yeah.
actualized.
It's like everyday magic. We look for these big things. Gratitude is a magic. I just realized that my name on here is Global Engagers. Oopsie, I'm in the wrong zone. My name's actually Donna Salemink, not Global Engagers. Sorry about that. That's super cool, Simone. Yeah, and it's like your journey that you're expressing is like the desire for classes in consciousness and then desire for more. Like I wanted this and then I desired more and then I kept asking and then I kept going. It's like walking on the path and then the path appears. We're always like looking for the path that already exists, and then we resist. I've noticed that anybody who's watching this, you can see if this is true for you or not. But most of the people that will stick around and watch a video like this are people who are like, wait a second, this world keeps telling me that there's a path and a journey, and all I have to do is find that path, and it already exists, and somebody's already created it and paved the way. And then if you ever find that path, you're pissed because you're like, this is somebody else's creation. I want to I know something else is possible in this forest. I want to explore things that have never been explored before. Actually, and then you get mad and you're annoyed by the path that's already there. And I'm the same way. If you're like, yes, that's how I am too, because you resist what's already been created. And that's an incredible gift to desire more, to desire to explore things in a way that actually works for you. And I would say, like, my target for me and for everyone that I get to work with in any way, shape, or form is to empower you to explore the world in the way that you actually know is possible, not the path that's been provided by somebody else. The one thing that Simone has been with me is I would say, like, when you're wandering through the forest, it's fun when you bump into somebody else who's also wandering and they're not saying like, hey, here's the only path through the forest. They're saying like, here are some trails that I have wandered down. Do you want to explore them with me for a minute? Check them out. And then and that's like a completely different energy. It's like, what if we're all wandering through the universe, through galaxies, through the planet, through oceans, and we're having our own ability to create that adventure, and then you have helpmates show up along the way who are like, also, do you want to come down and see this fairy forest, or do you want to come see this? And it's just this beautiful thing, and I'm so grateful for you in my life around that. But yeah, it's like, I mean, I really wanted to talk about the desire to sort of bypass. It's like, how often does somebody give you that path and say this is the only way to it, and you're just like, ugh, and you have so much more fun when you actually bypass that person or that thing or that something that says this is the only way. How happy are you when you find the way to go around it, go over it, go through it, go under it, and you get to see a totally different possibility?
Totally. I mean, there is so much to that. I mean, I'm not sure if it's around the world, but in German speaking land, there are so many high price coaches and they advertise like, do it my way. I have the answers. Like, do it exact what I say to you, and then you become a millionaire by next week,
Yeah,
whatever they say. I'm like, and then people they get like they borrow money from everywhere to make these classes for 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 euros, and then they're even more wrong. Like they have a lot of debt,
yeah,
but did not get where they desire to go. And
yeah,
I'm like, yeah, but how can you even like if I'm on a way on a pathway of someone else, I will never end up with me. I will end up with
yeah,
them. And so
exactly.
often I ask people, and I love that it's a question from Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, like, what is success to you? In this reality, success is X amount of money, the business a certain size, whatever. But it's not like, and then
Yeah,
Gary's definition of success is if you change one person's life, you're a success.
yeah,
That's closer to me. I'm still exploring and asking, like, what is success for me? For me,
yeah,
it's more that sense of communion with everything, like that, yeah,
yeah.
melting, like we all have different capacities and look different into the world.
We're so unique.
And for me, it's like to really, I mean, one thing I also asked, what is for me like enthusiasm, where I'm so curious about to learn more. And again, it's not Gary has it with antiques, then there's horses. For me, it's like, okay, what I found so far, and there is for sure more, when I spot a conclusion, I'm like, but wait, that's an answer. What if we don't stop here and ask there, like, pull the curtains and look what's behind that point of view? Like, and if the weirder it gets, but it's always like we have a tool that's called light and heavy. And when you can perceive, like, the universe of the other person is opening up, the weirder the things get, is like, yep, but that's super light. Like, okay, I wonder what capacities do you have that no one ever asked you to explore or to even choose or get, go.
Well, I just have to say I am asking. Like if you're watching this, please reach out to me, ping me. I really love just talking to people. For me, receiving the gift of people's unique way of exploring the world and their awareness adds to my life in ways that are um, undefinable, like unmeasurable. And it's like what you were talking about with like the people who are charging, billions of dollars to get through stuff. And I've done that so many times, like looking for like if I could just do this right, then my business would be right and I would finally figure it out. And then I am such an insolent child, teenager sometimes that I'm like, I get resistant. I'm like, this is like me doing somebody else's program. Like, where am I a leader in this? Why am I following? I don't like to be a follower. And so it's like, I'm like, oh, these people know what they're talking about. I'm going to do it like them. And then I get mad because I'm like, I'm not a follower. And it creates this like really interesting space. And there's a different possibility that I discover when I am with someone who is unique and has unique awareness, and it's not a defined thing, and I just get to be with people. So if you're watching this, like what's unique about you? What is your unique way of exploring the world and adding to your own life and getting greater? Like, what if everything could get greater? What if you could get greater? And how do you accomplish that? Like, where do you how do you find the things that add to your life and help you and everything in your life get greater? And this is where, Simone has been talking a lot about access consciousness and about access.me. And both of those things have added to my life so dynamically. And um, I was talking to someone yesterday who was like looking at access like it has that leveled thing, like you do this class and then you have to do this class and then you have to do this class and then you have to do this and then there's more and more and more and you just go in deeper and certainly that's one way that people can do access consciousness. There's infinite ways that people can use access consciousness in their lives for themselves or against themselves, like anything else. Um, and I was like, oh man, if I could give everybody the sense of like, there is a bypass, there is a way to go around that. Like, you don't actually have to do this and then this. There is not actually a pathway in access consciousness. And I know for myself, like most of us are so steeped in this reality that when we do find the access consciousness tools, we bring a lot of our old reference points and conclusions about how things work, and we try to meld them in with access consciousness. And the more I become me, the more that stuff falls away out of my life, the more I'm like, well, there really is no pathway or right way to do access consciousness. Especially, I've been around a long time and it's changed so much. There's literally infinite ways that you can jump in. There's infinite pathways that you can navigate through all kinds of things. And one of my favorites is Access Me, which is an app that you can download on your phone, and you become a member. You buy a monthly subscription, and that allows you to be a member. And once you get in there, it's like literally being an astronaut in space because poof, there's no prereqs to anything. There, you can bypass every limitation that you ever, if you've had any amount of access consciousness, like you can literally bypass all of it. You can go straight to the most quote unquote advanced classes. You can go sideways, you can go through, you can go around. It's multidimensional, multifaceted, has every single topic on it. And I just was looking at like what an incredible world, universe changing life hack that is. Like that I don't think a lot of people get. Like I think there I still get that people have this notion of a pathway and a correct way to do stuff. And what if you become a member with Access Me, all of that goes out the window and it's just you in there like, where do I go now? And like, thank God for helpmates like Simone who message once in a while and are like, hey, I've been listening to this thing and it's giving me this awareness. Can we talk about this? Or like, what are you listening to? Like that becomes even a more valuable gift than it's ever been, at least for me. That was a long rant, sorry. A long lot of words. But
And
I'm
you know
really
what?
excited about it.
This is so cool because like some people have that point of view that all the prereqs, whatever the point of view is, it's like they conclude something about it without even actually asking what is it. And
Yeah.
with some classes, I was in the class when Gary adds the prereqs or like how it gets along. I remember you could have become a certified facilitator without ever have done a body class. And then people just skip
Yeah.
that part in their foundation class. And there are like now there are two like sometimes there's more like, but there are body processes you learn in a foundation. But if people have never been to a body class themselves, they don't value the body process. How can they? They have never received it really, you know? And
Yeah.
okay, then Gary goes, okay, let's add a 3D body class that you can become a certified facilitator, like things like that. It's just gets added because people do weird stuff with it. Would have
Yeah.
no one ever dismissed the body process in a foundation class that would have not become a prereq. And there's a second um, occasion, like for the 6 days, for example. Before COVID, it was only live events, and then like there were people after a level 2 and 3 or choice for possibilities, it's called now, could come to a 6 day, and there are a lot of people like done a lot of access, and then they're like kind of total beginners that have done a bars class, a foundation, and the level 2 and 3 at the time. There was just like such a gap, and all the people long-term access, our bodies were like kind of exhausted because we are all facilitating to bring everyone together, kind of. And someone said, like, I was sick for 2 weeks, and like, I was too. Like the whole class was in so much. And then someone asked, hey, Gary, can you add a body class and an ESB? And then, oh, yes, of course. And then the classes went so much deeper because then you're in a room and you are better prepared for what is about to come. The classes can go so many different places then because a lot of the things are out of the way and it can go in, kind of, like, yeah. And that's also advanced, maybe, but I
Well,
admired
I
it
mean,
so much, yeah.
yeah, on that topic of prereqs, like for me, the prereqs have been I will resist them sometimes because I do not like somebody telling me what I have to do. How many of you guys watching this hate it when somebody is like, you have to do this to get to that? Um, I can't stand it and I will like dig my heels in for a while. And then usually I will finally relax and be like, why am I acting like a teenager right now? And then I'll do the prereq and then I'm like, oh, I see why this. I see like it's all every single time it's been a super gift for me. But I do see people get caught up in points of view about that. And I would say like whatever wherever you are on that spectrum of like prereqs and stuff, I would say like what if it's insignificant? First of all, anywhere it's significant for anybody, just let it go. Um, and then I would say like with the app, it's a bypass for it. It's
Yeah.
cool because it's like a bypass for it. I mean, even there's people that do advanced classes that are still assholes. Let's just be real. Like just because somebody's done stuff doesn't mean they're great. Like so there's that component of it too. There's a whole lot of nuances on it that are probably deeper than we can go in this video that is going to go who knows where in the world. But go ahead.
That was one of the wows because I was listening to a conversation in a class yesterday, and there was a person that had a fight with Dane. I'm like, but we are 20 years later now, and it's the same energy still.
Yeah.
And it's like there was no change in between. Oh, that's interesting. And I had like, I guess after my second body class, I was driving home. I was pondering myself, what is the difference? I'm like an ex's baby, but I have so much change, and I see others that are 10 years in exes, and they seems not to have that change. And then I got that it's not about how long you do something, it's about the choices you make that
Yeah,
makes a difference.
exactly. It's not about a judgment of longer or shorter. And that I think is one of the gifts that this app is creating is the awareness that no one can get in your way. Even the people who are like, I'm better than you because I've done all these classes and I'm so great. Nah, they can't get in your way. I love that because for me, as a rebelliously natured independent, I'm like American. I'm trying to get over my definitions of it, but I'm like real, like, I'm an independent woman. Like, don't tell me what to do and don't be greater than me. Nobody's greater than me. And when somebody does that, I'm like, smells like poo poo around here. And so it's like, this is cool because the app, if you're like me, the app is the way to be like, that was bullshit. I always knew it was bullshit. And now I'm jumping in. And consciousness really does include everything and judge nothing. And anywhere there's judgments, you're just like, oh, well, oh, well. So you can jump in and literally bypass all of that whole prereq nonsense and you can just get in there and see anything. And like, consciousness does include everything and I love what I'm noticing it creates with current classes because I do love to be on the creative edge of things and in the most, I mean, it's like to me I gain so much in value. I become more valuable. My who I be, my very being becomes more valuable um the more I am willing to choose towards consciousness in my life. And so I love to be on the in the most recent things and what we're able to do with more people having a fuller, I hate to use this word because it's such a technical, annoying word, but robust. I love like in the technical, everyone's like, we need a robust system. But I think like with more of us actually being the energy of all of the classes with access, starting to actually become that energy and be it and resonate and receive it and have it the the more we're able to talk about different things. It's like everybody has, it's sort of like if we went into a conversation about I don't know, deep sea diving, and you had never been snorkeling, and they were talking about like these most technical things about the bends and like, how water works or how tides work, and you've never even seen an ocean before. You know what I mean? To have a fuller repertoire or a fuller um, access to a bigger realm, it not only allows us to go different places and classes, but it also gives you a spherical space to go after. So it's like when we're in a class, it's like we're in the moment, but it's this big past, present, future space. And so when you leave, when the class ends, you can be like, oh, but there's this thread that I want to learn more about. There's this thing I want to pick up some more. And then the app is right there. And your friends that have the app are just like, hey, I was exploring this. Or the app like pings you and it's like, hey, did you see? Or we have a grandmaster DJ who's creating these amazing playlists who's like really tuned in. And I'm like, how conscious does it get? Like, that's exactly what I was like requiring. And there's this brand new playlist that's like pinging all of the places and spaces that are now open to explore and learn more about. So, I don't know. I appreciate this conversation so much, Simone. How does it get any better than this? And I wonder like where it can go. Like who is searching? Who can find this magically? Like I had a client, I have a massage business, and I had a client show up and she was like, I don't even know how I found you. You just popped up on Google like magically. Like it just showed up and I ended up, it's a beautiful story. I ended up running her bars a lot and she had cancer and I ran her bars as she was passing away. And it was this incredibly beautiful gift in my life and in her life too. But the way that consciousness brought me to her, brought us together was really mysterious and really miraculous. So I wonder where this can go.
Yeah. And that's another thing, like that we all have different capacities. And I'm like, one of the capacities is like to connect things, right? Like not just people, but also things. And I have this like, wow, with the Access Me app, like there's a connection between older classes, the future, like now and the future. Like we connect all kind, and also the classes together gets connected in the Access Me app. I really have a sense like
Yeah,
it's
totally.
it's there's a difference than living in all the different computers, but now having like a home with all of
Yeah.
them.
Oh God, how often, if you're watching right now, how often do you feel isolated and alone? And it's like, I mean, there could have been that sense before, but like the pandemic really perpetrated loneliness and alone and isolation. And has the pandemic perpetrated this space where we're all separate? I mean, it's been culturally, we're supposed to be separate. Like are you in Germany right now? Is that where you are? Where are you? Amsterdam?
Den
Where?
Denmark.
Denmark. Oh, okay. I never know. So it's we're supposed to like not be connected because you're in Denmark and I'm in America and culturally blah blah blah. I mean, it goes on and on and on. So it's been perpetrated in the world that we're isolated, alone, and separate in many ways, but the pandemic really exposed it to a whole other degree. So if you're at home feeling like really separate, really alone, there is something magical. Like you're actually not. You're actually not. We're like right here. We're with you. You can totally reach out to me. I love having conversations with people. I love just talking on the phone to people, like truly, truly, truly. So reach out to one of us and thank you, Simone. This has been awesome.
Yeah, I love that too. And with COVID, I know that was the program, us being separated, but I had a sense in Access we all came closer. Like we were on Zoom, it was like for everyone the same distance to each other. There
Yeah,
was like to me there was a huge melting into each other into something greater, and uh,
yeah.
and that keeps growing. So thank you so much, Donna, and see you soon. Bye.
Bye, guys.